Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaurata Vrinda.
Om Gyana Vedandasya Giranjana Shalakaya Chakshurumritamya Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. We're born in the darkness of ignorance, but our spiritual master has kindly forced to open our eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. Therefore, we offer our most humble and respectful obeisances unto him. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Bistha Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Prachadane Nirvasesha Sunyavadi Basya Jadistane. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. I thought that it would be important to hear from Srila Prabhupada as he wrote from Butler. I read a little excerpt at the YMCA. I'm going to read another little excerpt of this letter that is there, October 4th, 1965, in care of Gopal Agarwal, 415 North Main Street, apartment 111. If there was any confusion there, it's apartment 111, Sterling Apartments. Tridandi Goswami, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Sripad Narayan Maharaj, please accept my dandavats and also convey my dandavats to Muni Maharaj and of all other Vaishnavas. By the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, Prince Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, I have had so much work to do since I came to the West that although I was thinking of writing you a letter, up until now I could not write. I came to stay here, Butler, for 1 month. But if I can stay here longer, the work will be well done. Here they are naturally attracted to Christianity, but they also like to listen to me. Since I came here, I have been lecturing every day, either in a church, school, college, club, or society. Their English is a little difficult for me to understand because they pronounce words differently, and our pronunciation of English is difficult for them to understand. But the work has not been stopped because of this. They don't dislike my English. In the Butler Eagle newspaper, which is one of the largest publications, they like my English. And together with my photograph, they have printed a nice article. And he's writing now his personal experience of getting to Butler. To cross the Atlantic Ocean took 10 days. This great sea is usually full of storms and fog and is very disturbing. But by the mercy of Krishna, there was no disturbance. The captain of the ship, the main officer, told me, quote, "This kind of quiet Atlantic I have never seen in my life," unquote. I told them that this is only by Krishna's mercy, nothing else. After the troublesome storm in the Arabian Sea, I knew that if I had to face a storm like that again, I would die. I am thinking that the preaching will be very good here. I am lecturing some days for an hour and some days for 1/2 hour. The people of America are now tasting some new thing. This is the first time I have come to a foreign country, crossing 12,000 miles. All here are outcasts, not followers of the Varnashram Dharma system. Yet I am never afraid to speak in front of them. For the first time in my life, I delivered a speech in a church. The main thing is that I am all alone and I am in my old age because of this. Crossing 12,000 miles in a ship, I became very sick. I crossed the Bay of Bengal, the Indian Ocean, the Arabian Sea, the Red Sea, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Atlantic Ocean. I passed through Asia, Europe, and Africa. I crossed these oceans and seas and became so sick. Due to my request, they served me vegetarian meals on the ship, yet I could not take them. I fasted continuously for 8 to 10 days. The heat of fire increased so much in my body that I suffered terribly from colic pain. Afterwards, the captain of the ship purchased an electric stove for me in Port Said. I then cooked for myself and took prasad. If they hadn't managed this stove for me, maybe there would have been no possibility of me reaching America. I could have died on the way, but instead, Krishna mercifully brought me here. Why Krishna has brought me here, only He knows. It is very expensive here. One room I found in the YMCA has a weekly rent of 55 rupees. This is a very, very expensive country. Srila Prabhupada ki. Haribo, Srila Prabhupada. Recently at New Vrindavan, I gave a talk of which the theme, one of Srila Prabhupada's themes, is anxiety for Krishna, is love. So if we think about that, how much anxiety a mother takes for her children, or Krishna takes for all of his children. If we see the amount of anxiety that Srila Prabhupada took on him, he took it upon himself to give Krishna consciousness to others. He had no luxurious reason to travel from India to America. Not only did he not have a luxurious reason, he did not travel luxuriously. He came simply for others, to give Krishna, to give knowledge. And he didn't know what to expect. He didn't know if people were going to... In fact, he was thinking at one point, it's revealed in Lilamrita, he was thinking, if I tell people about the 4 regular principles, no meeting, no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication, they will say, goodbye, Swami. So, Vishnu Jan, actually, this is amazing, because in 1965, Prabhupada was here. 3 years later, Prabhupada had a disciple named Vishnu Jan Swami. And in one lecture in 1968, he asked Prabhupada, how do we attain perfect love? How do we attain perfect love for God, for Krishna? And Prabhupada's answer was, by anxiety. By your anxiety to serve Krishna. Krishna will give you facility to serve Him. If you don't have anxiety for Krishna, then you'll have simply anxiety where to find money, where to find woman, where to find intoxication. So Vishnu Jan asked him, is there anxiety in the spiritual world? He said, yes, there's anxiety even in the spiritual world. Everything is there. The central point, though, is different. The central point is Krishna. So how much anxiety Prabhupada took upon us. And he came to Butler, he didn't know what to expect. This morning I was on a plane from Atlanta, Georgia, to here. And all I could think about was how, not all, but part of my thoughts were, this plane, it's so, I was there 3 minutes late for my first flight. I had so much anxiety, thinking, oh my God, how am I going to make it for the festival? And I got the next flight and still had time. And I was thinking, just traveling. There's so much anxiety, so many problems. But it's insignificant compared to what Prabhupada did. So, but I was reflecting that the plane, the airports, the way the whole arrangements to travel just didn't happen like that. It just didn't happen like that. And now we're having so much facility to travel. But I'd say 115 years ago, there were some brothers in North Carolina who were in a little town called Kitty Hawk, Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, is actually a famous town today. And why is it famous? It's famous because that is where the testing ground for the airplane was. The first successful test for the power-driven airplane was there in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. So that little town was a testing ground. And that town has become so famous that they have named big battleships and spaceships after that town, because it was a testing ground. So here, Butler, it was a testing ground for Srila Prabhupada. He didn't know how Krishna consciousness was going to be accepted or rejected, or how the people would relate. And so from his successes here, in fact, we took that Haridam today from the YMCA down. If you could look up what it was raining, you could see along the way there was about 6 or 7 churches. And Prabhupada made a note of this, that the people in Butler are very religious. People in America are very religious. It's like if you take a walk that far in Vrindavan, you'll see so many temples. So you're seeing so many churches. So it was a testing ground. So as Kitty Hawk, North Carolina became famous, similarly, Butler, Pennsylvania is going to become famous as the testing ground for Krishna consciousness that has made our life easy. We can plug into Krishna consciousness so easily, just like you can hop a plane so easily. Now, the testing ground of Butler has made Krishna consciousness accessible to millions by internet, by association devotees, by temples, by book distribution, book publication. So Butler, Pennsylvania is a very, very special place. And we are not very happy that Sally Agarwal is not here. But in another sense, I am happy she's not here, because I'm going to tell a story that she will not be able to refute. There was a part of that story told at the apartments today. The way I hear it from the lips of Radhanath Swami, who has a transcendental tendency to embellish everything, to make it so nectarian you cannot but hear it again and again. Prabhupada was in that apartment, and he was, when the first couple days he was there, because actually Prabhupada came here and was living here, but the first couple days he was washing his clothes, and Bhakti Mark Swami was talking about how Prabhupada would wash his clothes and then put them on the lawn outside to dry. But when Prabhupada was washing his clothes and bathing in the apartment at Sterling Avenue, now of course for many Americans who haven't been to India, shower means you just, you take a shower and it's got an enclosed area in a bathtub. Or in India, you take a shower and it falls on the floor, it goes into the drain and disappears. But Prabhupada was taking a shower and washing his clothes in the bathroom on the floor, going back and forth. And one day Sally was in the living room noticing that there was this water coming out of the bathroom. This water coming out of the bathroom. But actually what that was Prabhupada's Charnamrita. Prabhupada's bathing in water in the bathroom. It's coming out the door. She's wondering what it is. But that water didn't stop in her living room. Prabhupada's mercy, his Charnamrita, the nectar from Prabhupada's feet, the nectar from Prabhupada's lips, the nectar from Prabhupada's being kept flowing out that door. Into the living room, out into the streets of Butler, Pennsylvania, and eventually crossed America from New York to San Francisco to Montreal to South America, North America, Africa, all of India, the whole England, Germany, wherever, Europe. It completely flooded everything. This is the special feature of Butler, Pennsylvania. From here, the nectar from Prabhupada's feet, Prabhupada's lips. Actually, the feet and the lips are no different. We talk about getting the dust of the lotus feet. Here, our Mataji was telling the beautiful story of getting getting the dust from Prabhupada's feet. But getting the dust from Prabhupada's feet, what does that mean? It doesn't mean that she's the only one in this room who actually had that fortune. The dust of the feet of the pure devotee means sound vibration. Because wherever a sadhu walks, as we have our Bhakti Marg Swami, wherever sadhu's feet are walking, the transcendental sound vibration is there. So, it's still available. It's still flowing. And it was raining on us today. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you so very much, Nityo Dita Prabhu, for such an encouraging speech. Those who have not seen Srila Prabhupada, had not had association of Srila Prabhupada, we can feel the energy of devotees, those who had association of Srila Prabhupada. So we are very, very grateful for encouraging us, sharing your realizations of Srila Prabhupada. It gives us hope and inspiration, encouragement to carry on and follow you all, what you have been doing to carry on Srila Prabhupada's mission. So I'd just like to express my gratitude on behalf of devotees, those who have not had association with Srila Prabhupada. We are very, very fortunate and grateful for your sharings today.